Let's talk about the simple way to do open monitoring meditation. When you talk about mindfulness meditation, they generally fall within two realms. We have focused attention or open monitoring. And I'm going to explain the difference between the two and show you how to do open monitoring meditation. This is Eddie with A Mindful Emergence, where we offer simple steps for becoming whole using mindfulness, movement, and breathing practices. So let's start and let's talk about the difference between focused attention and open monitoring. So, first of all, focused attention is the type of mindfulness meditation that probably most of us are familiar with. And with this type of practice, what we do is we sit down, perhaps, and put our attention on an object of attention. Usually it's the breath. And that's convenient and simple because we always have our breath with us throughout the day. So wherever we're going, we have this object of attention to focus on. So the way the practice works is we typically put our attention on breathing in and breathing out, wherever the sensation is most noticeable, perhaps in the belly, the chest, the nostrils. And then as we're doing this, we notice what distracts us. And if you're like me and most people, you get pulled away by thought. What am I going to have for lunch? Or wonder why Bob hasn't responded to my email, or this or that. And what we do when we notice that we've been pulled away is we gently return. So the practice is really basically forgetting and remembering. Put our attention on our breath. When we notice that we're distracted or pulled away, we let go and pull back. Now, there are variations of this. You can do something called noting practice, that when a thought arises or any other kind of distraction like a sound, we simply note it, thinking or listening and so on before we return. So there's ways to do it, but essentially what you're doing is you're training your mind to concentrate and focus on something, and also training it to notice what's happening and let go. Now, breath is one of the things you can focus on. Many people use a mantra. There's all kinds of mantras you can use, including something like a loving kindness practice, where we repeat a phrase like, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, and so on. Some people focus on a candle. You can focus on a sound. You can focus on the physical sensations of moving a rosary or mala beads. It really doesn't matter. The idea is that we focus our attention on an object, and then when we're pulled away, we return and return and return. So that's focused attention mindfulness. Let's talk about open monitoring. So, open monitoring is we do not pick an object of attention to focus on. We simply allow ourselves to open to the full range of experience, whatever it is. Most people do open monitoring meditation with their eyes open. And it's kind of like where we have all these sensory experiences, what we can see, hear, smell, we have taste, we have sensations, we might have internal sensations. Like, for example, there might be some anxiety there or sadness internally, some kind of emotion that shows up as energy in the body. Or there may be, for example, if we're sitting outside, we may feel a cool breeze or the sun on our arms. And of course, there are various sounds. We might hear a dog barking. If we're outside, we might hear the leaves rustling. I love to do open monitoring meditation in nature. I'll sit next to a stream and allow myself to just open my awareness to the full range of experience. I'm not giving my mind a job to do to focus on anything. I'm really using just a soft awareness, a soft focus. I've heard it described by one teacher that I've had as, imagine that your full range of experience is like a circle or this big room, and you're putting your attention on the middle, like a dot in the middle of a circle, and just allowing that to expand outward, just opening like this. So it's a very different kind of practice, and it can be useful for many things and in many ways. One wonderful way to use it is when we're doing walking meditation. So typically, we don't do walking meditation with our eyes closed. So we have them open, and perhaps we've picked out an area to walk and we just do open monitoring. Notice the full range of experience, including the movement of our feet, the pressure on the bottom of our feet, all these different experiences. One of the things that can happen sometimes with focused attention or concentration practices, I've heard this over and over and over again, is that after doing it for long periods of time, especially if we've done a lot of retreats and do long sits, is it can get stale and we can actually get kind of spaced out. And it's great to switch it up with something like open monitoring meditation, where it's less likely to happen. And there's science involved with this. It has to do with the default mechanism in the frontal cortex and so on, where what we're doing is we're switching up what the default is. And it really helps us, I think, develop a deeper level of awareness. And as you do open monitoring meditation, you may find yourself starting to have this experience where you become the awareness itself. With focused attention, there's something called dual awareness, where we're really aware of something that we're observing. We're observing the breath, then we're observing the thought, then we're coming back to the breath, or we hear a sound. So there's that sort of separation as we're observing, where this kind of open monitoring meditation is more like where there is no separation between the observer and the experience. It really all comes together. It's not an easy practice to do, but it's a very, very fruitful and valuable practice. And I invite you to check it out. And if you want tips on this, you can contact me at amindfulemergence.com. We can work on this together. So I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.